Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. My name is Chris Daughtery. As you could probably hear my voice right now, I did a lot of screaming yesterday for that game. Alabama taking on Missouri and ended up getting the shutout 34-0. So overall, a very positive game for Alabama, especially for their defense really coming out and getting the job done at the end of the day. So we're going to do our Overreaction Sunday like normal. I'm going to take some overreactions that I saw out there on social media, and I'm going to tell you, is it reasonable? Is it an overreaction? Is it not an overreaction? So that's going to be our show today. But first, if you guys liked that win, make sure you like today's video. The more likes we get on these videos, the more points Alabama can score at the end of the day. So make sure you like today's video for me right now. Overreaction number one, the defense is starting to improve, and it's starting to improve at a pretty solid rate. I do not think this is an overreaction. I think this is a pretty solid reaction, at the end of the day. Missouri in this game only threw for 72 yards, and I know you had Drew Pine out there, so it's, a little bit of an asterisk on that. But look, at the end of the day, Luther Burden is definitely a surefire, first-round caliber wide receiver for Missouri in this year's NFL draft. He ended up with only 3 yards in this game receiving. So that is a very, very positive thing. The running defense, you gave up 167 yards on the ground, but overall, I thought you did a pretty good job. Only 3 for 13 on third downs was Missouri, including one fourth down attempt that they did not get. So overall, I thought your defense played really, really well in this game. 10 turnovers now in the past 3 games. So I, definitely think that the defense is getting a whole lot better. I thought, they came out and they played with a lot of, tenacity, and, Bray Hubbard in particular, I thought he really lit a spark for this defense. I thought John Campbell played really well. Quay Russaw had an interception. Malachi Moore had another interception in this game. So I really liked what I saw from the defense, but, you still can probably asterisk that just because, Missouri was out there leading running back in this game. Brady Cook also had to leave this game early, and really when he was in there, he really wasn't the same Brady Cook that, he has been the past 2 seasons. So overall, I think the defense is, improving right now for Alabama. Overreaction number 2, and I do keep seeing this one, and Bench Jalen Milroe. Right now, I think it's a reasonable take. I don't know whether you do it or not. Probably my vote would be no. Don't bench Jalen Milroe quite yet, but I am, going to be lying to you guys if I come over here or I come out here and say that at halftime of this game, I was not saying the exact same thing, because in that first half, the, offense just looked super stagnant and they couldn't get anything going. And look, at the end of the day, the quarterback is the guy that has to lead the offense. And they just were not doing a very good job in the first half of this game yesterday. And look, a lot of it had to do with the running. You only rushed for 58 yards in that first half. Jalen Milroe was 10 for 15 for 109 yards. 10 for 15 for 109 yards. Penalties really, hindered the offense at times as well. So I'm not going to put it all on Jalen Milroe. So overall, I would probably say don't bench Jalen Milroe. I think he's got to go out there and be the starter against LSU. And look, at the end of the day, he still had like 50 yards rushing in this game, I believe. So, Jalen Milroe definitely did some positive things for you. Yeah, he had 11 carries for 48 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground. Didn't have any passing touchdowns in this game, but also did not turn the ball over. So, while we can all go out there and say, yes, we wanted Jalen Milroe to, really break out in this game and, really show us that he should be the starting quarterback here at Alabama. At the end of the day, I don't think he really went out there and did anything to take that starting job away from him. So, for right now, I think it is a reasonable take if you want to be that guy out there that thinks Ty Simpson, can go out there and run the offense better. But I'm not going to say it's an overreaction. I'm not going to say it's an underreaction, but I do think it's reasonable if you want to go down that route. So let me know, guys, at the pinned comment of today's video, do you think Alabama should start Ty Simpson in that game coming up here in just a couple of weeks against LSU? Let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. Type Y for yes or type in for no. That ad going to come here on YouTube. That's totally fine. You can ignore it, take advantage of it, go down there, and let me know what you guys think. Overreaction number 3 here. Still not going to beat LSU the way that you played. I do think it's kind of a reasonable take. Look, LSU, in all transparency, I'm actually filming this video on Saturday night after I put my instant reaction video out. And look, LSU's going out there at Texas A&M right now and looking really good. Really, the game should probably be 27-7 at halftime. I think it's only 17-7 at halftime right now. So LSU definitely doing some things to shoot themselves in the foot in this game. But look, my Connor Wingman take, or not Connor Wingman, excuse me, that's Texas A&M's quarterback. My Nussmeier take is not looking very good right now. He is looking like a pretty solid quarterback so far this season. And I have definitely seen a lot of people out there right now saying that he is probably the number 1 quarterback, in the draft class. But, a couple of weeks ago, Jalen Milroe kind of took that lead. He's fallen back, so you never know what could happen. And with Alabama's defense playing the way that they are right now, I think they got a chance to go out there and have a good game at LSU. It's really going to come down to the offense, man. Can the offense go down there and score enough points for you to win? Because really today, look, the offense was not that good in the first half. They really kind of started to wake up in the second half. A lot of that had to do with the running game really kind of, coming alive in the second half. First half, the running game, 58 yards. Second half, you had 213 yards rushing. So some of that's on the offensive line, playing well. Some of that also, these running backs just looked a whole lot better. They looked like they were running hard, especially Justice Haynes. Really love what I saw from Justice Haynes in this game against Missouri. So we'll see what happens, but it is definitely a massive game coming up. Not this next weekend because Alabama does have a bye week, but coming up in just a couple of weeks, it's going to be a massive game. And if Alabama can win that game against LSU, they are sitting in a pretty solid spot to be able to make the college football playoffs, and I think that's a reasonable take as well. Want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. That is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. And with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 different states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. So your lineup stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. And one of my favorite things about Prize Picks is the flex play or the power play. The power play, you have to get all your picks right to come out on top. The flex play, you can get one wrong and still come out on top, which is, not what happened to me this weekend. I did not win a single one of my Prize Picks. None of them, ended up being correct. So that's why I do not play a lot of the times, but if you guys want to play on Prize Picks, you can do that right now. Just sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is just guaranteed. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time for you guys, download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. Overreaction number 4 here. The playoffs are absolutely attainable right now. And this is not an overreaction. Like I just said when we talked about overreaction number 3, if you go out there and beat LSU coming up here in a couple of weeks, you have a pretty solid chance to make the playoffs. Now, obviously, there's more games still to come, you also have, Mercer. That's a game you should win. But then at Oklahoma and versus Auburn, those are also games that you should win. But you never know. It is the SEC. A lot of crazy stuff is happening. Texas almost lost to Vanderbilt yesterday as well. So, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, the playoffs are absolutely still obtainable for Alabama. At the end of the day, it just comes down to what Alabama themselves do. Are they going to continue to shoot themselves in the foot with some of those penalties? They had, they still had some penalty issues against Missouri in this game. 7 penalties for 85 yards, and I want to say 5 of those penalties were in the first half. So you did a little bit better job in the second half. But look, your defense is starting to play a little bit well. If the offense can really start get things going, I think the playoffs are still an attainable goal for the Crimson Tide. But let me know your opinions in the comment section. Do you guys think Alabama will make the playoffs this year? Type P if you think, yes, they do make the playoffs, or type M if you think not, probably not. I think they're probably going to miss the playoffs this year. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section right now. Overreaction number 5, the run game is finally back. You guys might disagree with me on this one, but for right now, I'm going to go with an overreaction because, look, your offense or your running game was really, really good in the second half, and I'm not going to take anything away from that. In the first half, it wasn't so good, and a lot of it comes down to the offensive line. Is the offensive line going to play to that standard? Are they going to play bully ball? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just really depends on what that offensive line is going to do for you. And at the end of the day, it also comes down to some of these running backs, whether that's Jam Miller, whether that's Justice Haynes. Are these guys going to run with some of the force that you saw in that second half of that game? Because in the second half of the game, they looked really good running the football. Justice Haynes finally came alive. Since that first game of the season where he had like 4 carries for 104 yards. In this game, he had 8 carries for 79 yards. Richard Young had a very good carry at the end of the game for 62 yards. Jalen Milroe had 50 yards on 11 carries. And then Jam Miller also had 48 yards on 11 carries in this game. So for right now, I'm not going to say the running game is back. I got to see it again, and I got to see it against a very good team in LSU coming up in just a couple of weeks. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We are just 302 subscribers away from 21,000. So help me out. Make sure you hit that sub button. We will be live coming up here in a couple of weeks for our LSU watch party. So that will be a whole lot of fun. And we do, 6-7 videos a week for free right here on YouTube. Make sure you guys are subscribed. That's youtube.com/@RollTideTV.